Ciao, buongiorno. So, I don't know why, but I'm like feeling super emotional today. And I'm wondering if it's because I'm so overwhelmed with pasta or something. Certainly had my fill of carbs over the last 5 days. I'm like shaking. It's interesting because I make a lot of references to my mission in my videos, and today, I got some messages from people that I served with in Italy, and I kind of realized, there's a lot of people in my Instagram and Facebook now that probably have no idea what I'm talking about when I say that. So by way of just explanation, so I grew up devoutly Mormon and was very devout until I was about 34 and then left the church, which was probably the greatest single thing I've ever done for my mental health, ever. The best thing I have ever done for my mental health was leaving the church. And that the reason I'm feeling so many emotions right now is because of my vast amount of therapy that I've done. Especially in the last year. I just recently started talking again about my mission. And for those of you who don't know what that is, so Mormons, and this has changed, in the last couple of years, but when I was 19 years old, I decided to serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I remember specifically telling God, the only place that I will go to is Italy. The only place that I want to go. I don't want to go anywhere else. And so when I got the mission call is what you receive that tells you where you're going on the mission, when it said Padova, Italy, I was like, this is nuts. Like, this is exactly where I want to go. And so I was elated, but obviously there was one huge thing that I was really terrified about, and that was the fact that I was gay. And that, I had just started to kind of work through some of that in therapy at 17, even though I was lying my ass off about it. I was basically watering it down and saying that it wasn't that big a deal. But knowing that I was going to go to Italy was meant everything to me. I was so excited about it. So a mission is essentially a 2-year commitment that you make with the church or God, depending on your perspective of it. And you go and you cannot return home for 2 years. Back then, things were a lot different in that you could only call home. Wow, I'm really shaking. All right, this is tough for me to talk about. You can only call home twice a year. You emailed. My therapist is going to be really proud that I'm not pushing emotion down. You could only email once a week, and you could write letters once a week. So the question that I've been asked a lot is, what was it like to serve a mission in Italy as a gay man, a suppressed, very closeted, very homophobic gay man back then? And what I can tell you is that, let me describe what it was like every day for me in this country. Okay, so you have to remember that we wear name tags, right, that say Anziano Taccone. So I'm Italian American, my last name is Italian. And so it was really an incredible experience to be able to be in the country where my ancestors are from, where my great-grandfather was from, and the place where my dad served. It was a really cool experience to be here in that regard, because I was able to learn Italian and be able to finally understand so many parts of myself. But let me explain to you what it's like to be gay and to be a missionary. Every single day, I would wake up and I would start to beat the shit out of myself. From the second I woke up, the first thing I would do is pray, and I would pray that God would take this away from me constantly, just every single day. So then throughout the day, obviously, Italian men are beautiful. They're gorgeous. Some of the most beautiful men in the world are here. Every single day, I would beat the absolute shit out of myself mentally. Every single day for 2 years. Now, a lot of missionaries probably do that. You know, a lot of missionaries are probably very hard on themselves and put a lot of pressure. But they may not have the element of thinking that they have something inside of them that is making them defective and less and dirty and evil every day. So every day we would end the day by saying a prayer with our companions. So we always had a companion, the other missionary that we were with all the time. I had 11 of them, wonderful, amazing men, mostly. Some of them were assholes. And what was interesting is that many of them probably remember that I would go into another space. I would literally go into closets at times, which is amazingly ironic. And I would beg God every single day to take the gay away from me. Every day. I would literally pray out loud by myself, and I was just begging and begging and begging. And that was the way that I lived my life for 2 years. So you have to understand that the anxiety that comes from that, the depression, people keep staring at me. That's why I'm not getting emotional anymore, because it's a little awkward. The anxiety that comes from that, the depression, the self-loathing, the self-hatred, the self-deprecation, I mean, you name it. It was an unbelievably awful time in my head. Every day was a battle. Every day was war. And the juxtaposition to that was that I lived here in a place that I connect with in such a deep way. Because here, I don't feel so weird because I have so much passion for shit, like food. Here, I don't feel as strange because everyone is just as passionate as me, or dramatic as me, and verbose as me. Here, I feel very much like I'm normal. I don't feel like I'm extra. Italians are extra by nature. It's just what we are. So here I don't feel I don't feel normal. I feel very normal. But it was so hard to feel those amazing, beautiful things, and at the same time hate myself so much every day. Every day. You have to understand, that is 2 years of every day wanting desperately to be something different than what I was authentically and naturally. That's a terrible way to live life. It's a terrible way. And I've spent 19 years, it's been 19 years since I returned from my mission. I've spent 19 years trying to get back. Not get back, I never was there. Trying to become an authentic person and be whole. And I can tell you that today, as I'm standing here in Rome, in a place that I love so much, that I am an authentic, whole man. And that was achieved not through the church. That was achieved by my efforts and some fucking hard work that took me so damn long. And I'm proud of myself today, you know? I'm proud of that. Because it's been really hard. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm the most stable mentally, emotionally, physically. Maybe a little less physically these days because I'm eating too much. But I feel like this need to say that I let go of that pain. Today I just want to let go of that pain. And I want to tell that 19-year-old and that 20-year-old that you did the best you could. You could not have known what authenticity would do for your life. You couldn't have known that it would set you free in a way that the church could never have done and still can never do. And I am so grateful that although it took 19 years, that I'm here today. So it's a lot of emotion, and I'm sorry. I know on Instagram, probably not the best place for all this emotion. Oh gosh. So many people are probably going to watch this and be like, oh shit, he needs help. I'm in weekly therapy, don't worry, I'm getting a lot of help. But anyway, I guess I just needed to say this today because I'm really trying hard to work through not suppressing emotion. Because when you suppress emotion for almost your entire life, you suppress your authentic self. Your entire life, it's very natural to just push all emotion down. And I don't do that anymore. I really try to feel it in the moment, so I got to collect myself. I got to collect myself now and go eat some amazing food and walk around this city that I love and know that I walk around it as an authentic gay man, not religious, very happy, very stable, and at peace finally with his life.